Students, this problem, there is a projectile. In this problem, a particle is being thrown over a triangle. You have a triangle ABC. From one end of the horizontal base to the other end of the horizontal base, like from A to C, you are projecting the body which crosses this triangle ABC, which touches the vertex B. The base angles of the triangle are given as alpha and beta, and the angle of projection is being given as theta. You should now find out what the relation between these angles alpha, beta, and as well as theta. You need to show this. Tan theta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta. I need to prove this. Okay. So before proving this, let me take, like, I want to show tan theta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta. So we can use basic trigonometric rules in this, right? Tan, I can write down tan alpha is equal to opposite side divided by, tan alpha is opposite side divided by adjacent side, that is y by x. Tan beta is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side. What is this adjacent side? R minus x. Tan alpha and tan beta are the values which are being given to you. So tan alpha plus tan beta, that is right hand side. Tan alpha and tan beta, that is right hand side. You should add them. Tan alpha plus tan beta is equal to y divided by x plus y divided by r minus x. This is equal to y into r minus x plus y into x divided by x into r minus x. Okay. See, yr minus yx plus yx, minus yx and plus yx gets cancelled, and denominator x into r minus x will be remained same as it is. So tan alpha plus tan beta, we have got it as yr divided by x into r minus x. Let me take this equation as number 1. We already have learnt about projectile motion, and we already know equation for projectile path as y is equal to tan theta into x minus of gx square divided by 2u square into cos square theta. That is the equation which we have. Now what I do, I'll just multiply numerator and denominator of the second term with tan theta into x. This gives you tan theta into x by tan theta into x. I'll just multiply numerator and denominator with tan theta into x. X and x gets cancelled. I'll now take x tan theta common. X tan theta, if I take it common, you will be writing this as 1 minus g divided by 2u square into cos square theta into denominator there is one tan theta left. That tan theta I can write it as sin theta divided by cos theta. This cos theta and this cos theta gets cancelled. G I can write it in the denominator, left over with 1x over. This is equal to x tan theta into 1 minus x divided by u square into sin 2 theta divided by g. Check it up. See, you have 2 sin theta cos theta here. 2 sin theta cos theta gives you sin 2 theta. U square is as it is. G I am bringing it to the denominator. So finally what you have got? U square sin 2 theta by g. What is u square sin 2 theta by g? U square sin 2 theta by g is r. This is equal to x tan theta into 1 minus x divided by r. This is equal to y. Okay. Now you can bring this x to the other side. y divided by x is equal to tan theta into r minus x divided by r. From here, you can write tan theta is equal to, you bring this r to the other side, it is y r divided by x into r minus x. That is equation number 2. Now check it from equation 1 and equation 2, right hand side are equal. In both the equations, right hand side are equal. As right hand side are equal, we can simply write left hand sides are equal. So I can write tan theta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta. That is the final expression. The data. You are being given in this question, a football is kicked off with an initial speed of 19.6 meter per second. U is equal to 19.6 meter per second. And this is having maximum range. Maximum range in the sense theta is equal to 45 degrees. Because in the problem itself, it is mentioned to you. Body is traveling maximum range, and that maximum range you need to find out by taking theta is equal to 45. A goalkeeper standing on the goal line 67.4 meter away in the direction of the kick starts running opposite to the direction of the kick to meet the ball at that instant. Now there is a ball. This ball is being projected, and this is point of projection. Let me take it as O, and this is the point where this ball falls. And a goalkeeper is here. And the distance between goalkeeper and the ball is given as 67.4 meter. Okay. And this angle of projection is given as 45 degrees. And its initial velocity u is equal to 19.6 meter per second. And this is the highest point of the projectile. Now, in order to catch this ball, goalkeeper is moving in forward direction. Goalkeeper is moving in the forward direction with some particular velocity. That velocity I am considering it as v. Okay. Now my question is, with what speed this goalkeeper should travel towards the ball in order to catch the ball before it hits the ground? Before it hits the ground, he should catch the ball. Now, before it hits the ground, he should catch the ball. It means that whatever the time taken by this ball to reach from O to A, in the same time, goalkeeper should reach the distance C to A. Right? So, in order to catch the ball, whatever the time taken by the ball to reach OA, time taken to fall down from O to A should be equal to time taken by the person to reach from A to C. Okay. So what is time of OA? Time taken by the ball to start from O to A, that is time of a flight. Okay. So time of flight is already known to you. So time taken to travel, that is 2u sine 45 divided by g. That is 2 into 19.6 into sine 45 is 1 by root 2 divided by g value 9.8 I am taking. I am not taking 10 here because with 9.8 you can cancel 19.6. 9.8 into 2 is 19.6. Root 2 into root 2 will become 2. Therefore, time taken is equal to 2 root 2 second. Therefore, in order to catch the ball, goalkeeper should travel distance CA in time 2 root 2 second. Then only he can catch the ball. Before it hits the ground, he should reach that ball. So how much time, in what time he should reach that ball? In that time 2 root 2 second, he should reach the point A. Now, you should find out this distance. In order to find out velocity, we know velocity is equal to distance traveled by time taken. This distance I am considering it as x. I do not know what is x value. T value you have got, it is 2 root 2. In order to find out x, what I do, I'll subtract 67.4 from this value. I'll subtract this range. Okay, what is range? R is equal to u square, 19.6 into 19.6 into sine 2 theta, that is a sine 90, divided by g is 9.8. 9.8 into 2, and this is sine 90 will be 1. So range R is equal to 2 6 12, 2 9s 18 plus 1 19, and 2 1s 2 3, 39.2 meter. That is range. Okay, so after calculating range, you can find out this x value. X is equal to 67.4 minus 39.2. This gives you x is equal to 4 minus 2 is 2, and this is 8, and 5 minus 3 is 2, 28.2 meter. That is distance traveled. Now in order to find out velocity, v is equal to x divided by t. X is 28.2 divided by 2 root 2 meter per second. This is 14.1 divided by root 2. V is 14.1 divided by 1.414 meter per second. And 1.4 and 14.1, this becomes 10. So V is equal to 10 meter per second. If this person is able to travel with a speed of 10 meter per second, he can catch the ball before it hits the ground. Students, you are been projecting this body with some initial velocity u, and there is a wall at a distance x, and the length of wall is y. You should find out this distance of the wall. Y is equal to, we have relation. Vertical distance traveled by the body is tan theta into x minus tan theta into x minus g x square divided by 2u square cos square theta. Just like in the previous problem, what we have done, we will just multiply the same thing in numerator and denominator with tan theta into x. Tan theta into x, I can take it common. Tan theta into x, if I take it common, what do you get? You will get 1 minus x divided by r. I am not deriving it again and again, because in the previous problem itself we have done this. From here you can write y by y is equal to tan theta into x into r minus x divided by r. This is equation for y. Okay, that is answer for the question. So height of the wall should be equal to tan theta into x into r minus x divided by r. Students, a projectile is having 2 kg mass and its velocities are 3 meter per second and 4 meter per second at 2 points during its flight in the uniform gravitational field if these two velocities are perpendicular to each other. So that means if velocity is v1 in this direction, then the other velocity should be perpendicular to this. This becomes v2. Right? Now, where do you get v2 velocity in this projectile? Definitely that should be somewhere here. Check it up. This is velocity v2. So for the same, for this projectile, v1 and v2 are the 2 points where velocities are 3 meter per second and 4 meter per second. Okay. What it is been given? Velocity v2 is perpendicular to v1. So what you need to do? You should take velocity v2 on this projectile such that it should be perpendicular to v1. So suppose if you are taking v2 here, is v1 and v2 perpendicular? Obviously not. If I am taking velocity here, is v1 and v2 perpendicular? No. At some particular point, definitely it will be perpendicular. That I am taking here. So these are the 2 points where velocities are perpendicular to each other. Now what you are supposed to find? You should find out minimum kinetic energy of the particle during its flight. When do the particle have minimum kinetic energy? That is what you are supposed to find. As we know, When the body is starting from one point A, it goes to highest point. At the highest point, final velocity becomes 0. Is it not? Only horizontal component will be there, that is u cos theta. And if it is being projected with some angle theta. So at the highest point B, body have least kinetic energy. Kinetic energy at A is equal to kinetic energy at C, because both are at the same levels. Kinetic energy at B is minimum. Why kinetic energy at B is minimum? Because body is having 0 vertical velocity at this highest point. It only has horizontal velocity. Okay. Now what I do, in order to find out this kinetic energy, I'll use the formula. Kinetic energy is equal to half m into velocity along x whole square. Take this as equation number 1. So kinetic energy at B I want to find out. Basic formula half m v square. What is v here? V is velocity along x-axis. Velocity along x-axis you do not know. That you should find out. Therefore, what I do, I'll resolve this u1 into 2 components and also v2 into 2 components. I'll resolve these vectors into components. Okay. Now, what about this angle? Let me consider this angle is alpha. As v1 and v2 are perpendicular, what about this angle? It is 90 minus alpha. Because v1 and v2 are perpendicular, with the horizontal, this v2 will be making an angle of 90 minus alpha. This is v2. So therefore, for projectile, magnitude of horizontal component does not change. This concept you know. Because along x-axis there is no acceleration, horizontal components of velocity vector at any point on the projectile motion will be remain same. Therefore, I'll take horizontal component here. What is it? v1 cos alpha. And what about its v2 cos of 90 minus alpha. These two horizontal components should be equal. v1 cos alpha is equal to v2 cos of 90 minus alpha. This is v1 cos alpha is equal to v2 into cos 90 minus theta, it is sin theta, that is sin alpha. From here you can write tan alpha is equal to v1 divided by v2, that is 3 by 4. So you have a triangle. This is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Least angle is 37 degrees. Tan alpha, it is 3 by 4. Tan 37 is equal to 3 by 4. Therefore, what is angle theta? Angle alpha? Alpha is equal to 37 degrees. Alpha value we have calculated. So after getting alpha value, which is 37 degrees, we will now write down that in the formula 1. So velocity along x-axis, what it is? v1 cos of alpha. That is, what is v1? 3. What is cos alpha? Cos 37. What is cos 37? 4 by 5. This is equal to 12 divided by 5. So what is ux? 12 by 5. Kinetic energy is equal to half into mass is 2 kg into 12 by 5 whole square. This 2 and 2 gets cancelled. This gives you kinetic energy. 12 square is 144 divided by 25 joule. That is the final expression for kinetic energy.